Alright guys, so today I want to talk about hand cannons. I also want to talk about just the way Destiny 2's PC PvP feels. And I'm also going to hit up the differences between consoles and also PC. What is the differences we're looking at between the two, and whether or not investing into a PC is actually even worth it. That's a big investment. That's a lot of money. And I know a lot of people have actually come to me in the stream and asked for like, what would a budget build be? If this is something that you guys are really interested in, I know I've had a few people in Discord. Let me know in the comment section below, because a budget build PC is not something that I've really gotten together for just Destiny 2 specifically. But if this is something after this video that you are genuinely interested in, feel free to just comment down below and I might get a video together and we can just go from there. So hand cannons are definitely the first thing on the list that I want to talk about, because I'm a lover of hand cannons. And if there's something that you noticed when you came into Destiny 2 PvP on console, was that hand cannons just did not have the same hit registration that it felt like it had in Destiny 1. Even toward the end of year 3, the hit registration for most of our hand cannons was still pretty solid. But of course, damage fall off for most of those hand cannons was really steep, as in once you got past like 25, 27 meters, man, that damage fall off just plummeted. Now in Destiny 2 PC PvP, I would say that hand cannons has that hit registration back, and it feels so good. But not only does it have that hit registration back, but the range at which hand cannons are viable is better than I've ever seen it in Destiny, outside of like maybe around year 1. You know what I'm saying? Like House of Wolves era, when hand cannons used to be able to mount like last word. But it is very good, and it is, so you got the hit consistency back, the hit registration back, and you also have the range back. So hand cannons feel phenomenal. And all the issues that we ran into console with hand cannons, and I put out videos and I talked about balloon being such an issue, it's almost as if it's non-existent on our hand cannons right now, which really blows my mind, because Bungie even came out the other day and said that they wanted to balance both PC and console the same, as in when they issue a sandbox update, they want to be able to apply it both to each platform and it be the same, and we live under a similar meta. The problem is that hand cannons currently on PC is so much better and feels so much better than the way they do on console. Now let me talk about the PC experience so far for me. Yes, it's been positive. I mean, hand cannons was the first thing I mentioned, but what really brought me to hand cannons and talking about it first was I was sitting back and I was thinking, what is responsible for this? What is, surely this is a game that Bungie has brought into the fold, and they said, hey, we're going to bring in a game, we're going to be able to balance both of them the same. But obviously there's some major differences between both the way PC feels and the way console feels. I think a lot of it does have to do with 60 FPS. The game is a lot more fluid. I'm able to take a lot more in situations where a lot of things are happening. I'm able to digest what is going on much quicker than I could with consoles. Now, consoles is still great. I still love playing PlayStation 4. I know somebody in the comment section is going to just kind of rake me over the coals and tell me that I'm being a PC elitist. No, it's just the fact that 60 FPS allows you to pretty much diagnose what is going on the screen a lot quicker than what you could with 30 FPS. Not only is there an issue of 60 FPS, but there's also an issue of field of view. And there's a slider here that Bungie gives us, which is the ability to expand your field of view, as in you can see more in front of you. And that, of course, also gives you an ability to kind of digest even more of what's going on really quickly. So as far as the PC experience and what's happening there, wonderful. I think it's great. Not only is it great in that aspect, the game is very solid in PvP. As in, like, I would see a little bit of frame drop off in public events, maybe some frame drop off and even strikes. But when it came to PvP, that sucker locked up at 60 and it was solid, baby. I did not see it drop it one bit. Now let me mention a difference that a lot of people have brought up about consoles and PC, talking about recoil. This is something I wanted to mention, and I definitely want to test it out. Yes, it does feel as if there doesn't seem to be as much recoil from some of the weapons. It feels that way, but when I shot up against the wall a couple of times, I still saw a pretty consistent bullet spread there that I think you would have got from console. The thing with console, which I think a lot of people tend to forget is that your field of view is a much more up close, and so you see a lot more of that weapon rise. As in the field of view now, like I said, is a little more backed off. It's a little more backed off. It's a little more open, and so I don't know. To me, the recoil is maybe a little better, a little more manageable in PC right now. But I don't know if there's necessarily a overwhelming difference from a controller standpoint. From a mouse and keyboard, though, I would tell you, just by the placement of your palm on a mouse and you shooting. I was messing around with an SMG yesterday and was just shooting it into a wall. I noticed that it almost looked like I had counterbalance. Literally, the bullet spread stayed completely vertical. And the reason why that is as if your hand laying on your mouse and you're shooting, it's dragging. Your hand is dragging little by little whenever you start pulling back. And it doesn't just pull back in a jerking formation that we would sometimes get from our controller. Instead, it's completely vertical when you start pulling back on it, and it kept it in such great lines, as in it felt really good. So mouse and keyboard in that essence, I think is much better in terms of managing recoil on PC than even controllers. So I don't necessarily think there's a huge difference between recoil controller to controller from console to PC. I think it's more or less just mouse and keyboard able to manage it much better than what you get from a controller just in general. So should you get the PC version of the game? Really, everything about the game is the same, as in it's still the same storyline. It's still going to be the same strikes, the same raid, the same playlist and PvP. A lot of things that we've complained about are pretty much still present there in Destiny 2's PC version. But the way in which the game feels, because that was probably the biggest driving argument whenever I would talk about Destiny 2, and I would make these videos where I was essentially just ranting up a storm and pretty much stating why Destiny 1 felt better, seemed better than Destiny 2. It was because the game did not have that feel good hit registration, sliding, jumping. It's as if whenever I play Destiny 2's PC version, I feel like I'm playing the complete Destiny 2 version. I don't know what the engine is for Destiny 2, guys. All right, I'm not a developer. But from my opinion, just playing the game feels more like a PC game than a console game. To me, it feels like a PC game ported into console versus the other way around. So that is my thoughts on PC, Destiny 2, and of course PvP. We cover a lot of PvP on this channel. And guys, I really like it on PC. I don't think this is necessarily going to be the main platform I'm going to stay on. I think I might tend to do a couple reviews. I will say it took forever to find a match on PC today. For some reason, it took us like nearly 10 minutes to find a match. Whereas console, you load up a match within seconds, right? You get thrown in one after another. You know, the huge factors that we have in competitive that makes it an undesirable playlist, making it, you know, where people are still leaving halfway through the matches. That's still there. That was still happening here on PC as well. So again, there's still so many issues that I still see with Destiny 2, and hopefully with the updates that are coming in December, and now that we got PC version rolled out, they will start addressing these issues and start taking care of the things that we've been talking about. But so far, guys, I've been extremely impressed with the PC version. And by the way, I mentioned consoles were in trouble about a couple months ago before Destiny 2 launched. I think a lot of people saw that as me saying that consoles was so lacking and that I was being a PC elitist, when really in reality, what I said was I did not want to see the game more adjusted and more adapted for PC than for console. I felt like Destiny belonged on console more than PC. That's where their start is. That's where their big fan base is. And I felt like the way Destiny 2 felt during the PC beta was so good. And that's not from an FPS perspective. That's from a lot of quality of life perspectives. The ability to change your field of view, the ability to change where your cursor is, the ability to change reticle color, something that we even have in Overwatch on consoles. It's things like that that I feel like will add so much more to the console experience that I hope Bungie allows for people to use even on there. Well, guys, that is my thoughts on it, man. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, definitely hit that thumbs up for me. Let me know if y'all want the PC guide and the PC build guide. If we do end up doing it, because I've actually been considering building a PC for my wife, because she is all on board with Mac, and I want her to break away from that. I might just buy the parts, or at least show you how to buy the parts, bring the PC in here, set up a webcam, and we just build it together, guys. Like straight up, I'll like live stream it. We build that bitch together, and pretty much just put all the parts up. And that way you can kind of see it. There's a lot of people that's already done that, by the way. There's tons of people that show, like that's how I learned. I learned how to build my PC off of YouTube. So I mean, there are so many people that's already done that. But if you feel more comfortable with me live streaming it, and we kind of do it together, you get your Lego parts, I get mine, we fucking put it together. We'll go from there. Fellas, thank you so much for coming and watching this video. And as always, guys,
slap that like button like your mama told you right.